What's up, everyone? Welcome to the live stream. Just going to wait for a few people to jump on and get my things set up here, and then we're going to go ahead and start. If you guys can hear me in the chat, please let me know if I'm coming through loud and clear. As always, I'm checking just to make sure. Welcome to the live stream, Chia. Greetings to you as well. We got 6 or 8 people here in the chat. We'll wait for a few more people to join on. Greetings, Gary. Nice to see you. LD, nice to see you as well. Captain Flatastic, nice to see you. Gary Baldwin from Indiana. I live very close to Indiana myself. Or that's where I'm from. I'm not in Indiana now. So we got 13 of you in here. This is going to be a live stream that people can join. So if you guys would like to join the live stream, I've been talking a lot about August 4th, which is today, and Donald Trump. Of course, we've had a lot of news. I'm going to go over a lot of the things I've posted in my community sections over the last 2 days. And then after that, we can have some people jump on the live stream. Basically, what I'll do is I'll leave the link in the chat. And you guys are going to be able to join the live stream. So it's kind of going to be hopefully some people want to join. Because I much more enjoy the live streams when people can actually have conversations with people. So look at this, guys. We got a headline news. Of course, on today, we have a headline news of Donald Trump. And it says, Trump wants Supreme Court to intercede in legal fights. So just notice the word intercede is in quotations. And whenever you see a word in quotations, it's usually because they want you to emphasize this word. And in this case, the word intercede equals 47, like president, like Trump. As a matter of fact, let me show you guys that for a minute. So if we go to my history, you guys are going to see that this word intercede that they have in quotations on the headline, front page of CNN, intercede equals 47, kind of like authority, like Republican, like president. It also equals 52. So, of course, this is the word. And also, I want you guys to notice that intercede equals 160, like the Donald, and like assassination. And remember, I told you guys that from the Capitol insurrection, which this whole thing is about, on January 6th, 2021, until today, is 160 prime. So it's 941 days since the Capitol insurrection. And that's the 160th prime. And the CNN news article about Trump today has the word intercede in quotations, which equals 160, like assassination, like it's 160 prime days from the Capitol insurrection. Do you guys see the joke here? What are the chances of that? 160 prime days from 1/6 to 8/4. Also notice that the Capitol insurrection had date numerology 1 + 6 + 20 + 21 of 48, kind of like today can be written 48. And it's the 160 prime days between And CNN gives us the perfect word in their headline: intercede, right? Also notice, guys, that tomorrow in Detroit, WWE, the World Wrestling Entertainment, is having an event in Detroit where the Detroit Lions play, and it's at Ford Field. And what do we know about the word Ford? Well, we know that the word Ford is connected to Abraham Lincoln's assassination, John F. Kennedy's assassination, because Abraham Lincoln was assassinated in Ford's Theater, and John F. Kennedy was assassinated in a Ford Lincoln automobile. And it's no coincidence that tomorrow at SummerSlam, WWE is at Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan, which ties to all the Ford stuff. And just notice that Ford Field is where the Detroit Lions play. Okay. And Detroit Lions equals 160, like assassination, and like the word intercede, which is, again, the word that they have posted right here for Trump. Also notice, guys, that it says down here, after Trump's arraignment, ominous days may be ahead. So what are they telling us, guys? Ominous days may be ahead. Wonder what they mean by that. So let me jump back into the chat for a minute. Hello, Jessica. Hello, everyone. Hello, Morgan. Hello, Kathy. Hello, Bruno. Thank you guys for coming by. So if you guys missed that opening part, I mean, like I said, this big number is the 160, guys. The 160, like assassination, like intercede, like the Donald, like Detroit Lions. Now, another thing I want to point out here is that they said in the article, they said ominous days ahead, right here. They say after Trump's arraignment, ominous days may be ahead. So the word ominous just means, you know, pretty much something not good may be on the horizon. And notice that the word ominous equals 83, kind of like yesterday was 8-3, and it was when he was indicted. Also, the word murder equals 83 in the same cipher, right? And, you know, this number is obviously the 23rd prime, and we're in the year 2023. So I just thought that was interesting. So I'm going to go over a few posts that I made in my community section of YouTube here. And I'm going to start with the one I did back like yesterday, okay? And this is the parallel that I found between Donald Trump and Julius Caesar, okay? I'm just going to read through this. And like I said, once I'm done, guys, you guys can hop on the stream if anyone wants to join the stream. So anyways, in this, I'm going to expose the clear ritual parallel of Donald Trump's indictment and Julius Caesar's assassination. The latest indictment calls for Trump to appear in D.C. yesterday on 8/3, with today, 8/4, being Obama's birthday. Okay, Barack Obama, the 44th president. And Trump is in Montgomery, Alabama tonight, right? The indictment is being brought against Trump for the January 6th Capitol insurrection. This parallel that Julius Caesar was at the Capitol when he was assassinated and he was stabbed. He was at the Capitol, kind of like Trump supposedly incited a Capitol riot, okay? And from the 1/6 Capitol insurrection to today is 941 days. Like I showed you here, guys, 941 is the 160 prime. And again, assassination equals 160. Okay, and remember that the trick here is that the insurrection at the Capitol happened on January 6th, which is written 1/6. Well, in numerology, the number 160 is also 1/6 because you drop the 0. The judge who's going to rule in the January 6th case is Tanya Chutkin, I think is how you say it. And she was appointed by Barack Obama. Now, why is that a joke, guys? Because today is Barack Obama's birthday, and now the judge that was appointed by Barack Obama is going to be essentially in charge of the Trump case. And her name, Tanya Chutkin, matches Julius Caesar in 3 out of 4 ciphers. So let's go back over here so you guys can see. Tanya Chutkin. And I'm going to go to my history, and you guys are going to see the parallels that we have between the judge who's in charge of the Donald Trump case and Julius Caesar. You're going to notice that her name happens to be a 3-cipher match with Julius Caesar, 139, 40, and 185, kind of like Secret Society 185, kind of like Donald Trump 185. But her name also has the 68, which is, in my opinion, one of the most important numbers in this ritual. The 68 is Donald J. Trump equals 68, Barack Obama 68, Montgomery, Alabama, where Trump's going to be today, 68, Trump assassination 68. I'm going to get to the rest of these 68s in a bit, but I'm just showing you that this judge and all of her numbers are perfectly scripted with this Julius Caesar ritual and this parallel. So I'll continue reading. Tanya Chutkin also equals 68, which is the big number I talked about. And Trump in August 4th is in Montgomery, Montgomery, Alabama, 68, like her name, like Barack Obama. And she was appointed by Barack Obama, just like Donald John Trump, Donald J. Trump, all equal 68. So it might be a good idea to, guys, if nothing goes down today, it might be a good idea to keep our eyes on the next. This whole month looks interesting because it's the 8th month. And Trump just seems to love the 8s. Any number that has an 8 in it, Trump is usually connected to it. 88, 68, 48, 38, 138. I mean, it's just a Trump. He loves the 8s, right? Which is why his Mar-a-Lago was rated last year on 88. So we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary. So there was even a skit, guys, of Julius Caesar. Now, let me go over to my Twitter so I can pull this up. And I'm sorry, guys, if there's like a delay sometimes. My computer is very slow. I need a new computer. So just so you guys can see that they've told us that this Donald Trump and Julius Caesar thing is truly a thing, right? Notice this article from June 7th, 2017, where they said, twisting the knife, video from Trump-inspired performance, Julius Caesar shows the Roman dictator in a business suit being stabbed to death. Okay? So if you guys, they're telling us, right? And they're also telling us, that after, actually, let me go forward here. So yeah, basically what happens after Caesar gets assassinated? Well, there's civil wars that break out. And here, I'll bring up this picture so you guys can see. But it says right here, the death of Caesar, Caesar's death resulted in a long series of civil wars that ended in the death of the Roman Republic and the birth of the Roman Empire. Now, this parallel runs very deep because tomorrow, I told you guys, tomorrow, WWE at Ford Field, just like Ford is connected with the death of Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy, at Ford Field, you have Roman Reigns, who's known as the tribal chief, the Roman Empire. He's going to be facing his cousin in a tribal combat. Okay, so this WWE story has been running the Julius Caesar parallel, and it's coming to a culmination tomorrow night. Just like this Trump thing seems to be coming to, a culmination. And it's not a coincidence that this event is being held at Ford Field. And the name Ford, if you guys watch my Ford video, back in my videos, you're going to see that the Ford name is connected to presidential deaths. This is not a good word when it comes to presidents. Remember, Gerald Ford in 1989 predicted the first woman president. And don't worry, guys, I haven't forgot about Kamala. I believe that this whole Trump thing is also tied to Kamala and Biden. Now, Biden's on vacation right now, so I don't think anything's going to happen to him. But what I'm saying is this WWE thing is so clear, guys. If you follow the story of what's been going on, it's super scripted perfectly with this Julius Caesar ritual. And they've been calling this the Bloodline Civil War, which is exactly what happens after the death of the Roman dictator Caesar. So, with that in mind, I'm going to return to my writing here. So again, I showed you guys that the article where Donald Trump is displayed as Caesar and he gets stabbed, this is like something that you guys can go look up, the article. Now, another parallel here with the judge that's being assigned to the case is that she is born in Jamaica. And if we look up Donald Trump here, guys, we're going to see that Donald Trump was born in the hospital that's called Jamaica Hospital, okay? And the judge that has been assigned to his case, okay, was born in Jamaica, okay? And don't forget, Kamala Harris's father, Donald J. Harris, okay, just look at this. Donald J. Harris, sorry. Donald J. Harris is the father of Kamala Harris, and he just happens to have the same name. He goes by Donald J. Okay, and what does that remind you of, guys? Donald J. Trump or Donald J. Harris. And this is Kamala's father. And he's 84 years old right now. What day are we talking about? The date 8/4. Now, why is this interesting? Because he's from Jamaica, and Donald Trump was born in Jamaica Hospital. And the judge assigned to Donald Trump's case is from Jamaica, born in Jamaica. Okay, so there's something going on with this Jamaica thing. I haven't really looked into it a lot, but if any of you guys have any info on that, please share in the chat. But I'm just saying that this is a complete joke, guys. And just look at Donald J. Harris's birthday. He's born August 23rd, which is coming up. So yeah, watch out for Kamala Harris's dad. Her mom is already dead for like 12 years or 13 years. But if you look into the parents of Kamala Harris, it goes very deep, guys. Her mother was a breast cancer researcher. So anyways, I just thought I'd bring that up because... So another parallel I want to mention here, guys, is that today, okay, so Julius Caesar, he was assassinated in 44 BC. Let me bring that up just so you guys can see. Julius Caesar assassinated in 44 BC. Okay, and today is 44 days before Rosh Hashanah. Okay, Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah 2023 takes place, the full day of Rosh Hashanah takes place on September 16th. So from today, 8/4, to September 16th is 44 days. And Julius Caesar was assassinated in 44. And today is Barack Obama's birthday, and Barack Obama was the 44th president. Now, in Gematria, Donald Trump is going to be in Montgomery, which equals 44, like the word kill. So let me bring up the 44s here. So I'm going to tie this lightning thing in a minute, but so today is the 44th president's birthday, like Julius Caesar assassinated in 44 BC. And today is 44 days before the Jewish New Year. Now, the word kill equals 44. Last year on Obama's birthday, okay, let me just bring that up. There was a lightning strike at the White House. 3 people are dead and 1 is injured following a lightning strike across the street from the White House. James Mueller, 76, and Donna Mueller, 75, died from injuries following a lightning strike. Now, these two people were from Wisconsin. Okay? The two people that died on Barack Obama's birthday last year were from Wisconsin. Wisconsin equals 44, like lightning, and they were struck by lightning on the 44th president's birthday, and they were from Wisconsin, which equals 44. Now, Montgomery, which is where Trump is going to be tonight on the 44th president's birthday, also equals 44. Okay? And Montgomery had the first railroad in Montgomery was called the Lightning Route. Okay? Do you guys understand the joke here? All this lightning symbolism, and the first railroad in Montgomery, Alabama, which equals 44 like lightning, was called the Lightning Route. And it was started on April 15th, 1886. Well, what's with the April 15th? April 15th is the day Lincoln died. It was the day the Titanic sank. And we already had a Titanic ritual this year. And again, last year, the Super Bowl was on Abraham Lincoln's birthday. So they've been pointing us a lot to this Civil War theme with Abraham Lincoln, and also with the Titanic and Abraham Lincoln both going down on the same day. But again, what's the chances, guys, that Montgomery and lightning equal 44, and today is the 44th president's birthday, and it's 44 days before the Jewish New Year, and last year on this day, two people from Wisconsin were killed by a lightning strike. Okay, 44. This all goes back to Julius Caesar, who was assassinated in 44. And just so you guys see, the word kill equals 44 as well. So, yeah, this number deserves to be talked about for sure. That's why I wanted to bring this number up, because it's obviously a huge number in this ritual. So anyways, guys, that's this. I left pictures here. I can't really open those now, but anyways, I'm going to show you the gematria later. Now, yesterday, it was news in the news yesterday, after I had already talked about Montgomery the day before. It was in the news yesterday that there was a man on a plane, and his name was Montgomery. Multiple authorities respond to an incident this evening on Delta Airlines 2432 from Atlanta to New Orleans. The incident involved a disruptive 31-year-old named Nelson Montgomery. So what are the chances that his last name is Montgomery? And in fact, the plane that he was on needed to fly over Montgomery to get to New Orleans. Okay? And he was 31 years old. And the article says that he was 31, and this week that we're in is the 31st week of 2023. It says that the passenger was asked to provide medical aid to Montgomery because he was bleeding from the neck. However, the situation escalated when Montgomery grabbed the flight attendant and put her in a chokehold. He held a broken shard of glass to her neck. So, what a joke that this Montgomery thing happens one day before Trump is in Montgomery, Alabama, and the plane that the guy named Montgomery holding a piece of glass to the girl's neck had to fly over Montgomery, Alabama. I mean, look at this. The flight path from Atlanta to New Orleans goes right over Montgomery. And the guy on the plane is named Montgomery. Okay? I mean, just an absolute mockery. This stuff blows my mind sometimes that people can't see through this, because it's absolutely always so predictable and so obvious. So anyways, back to the article. So yeah, anyways, guys, I just wanted to go over that because, again, I was talking about Montgomery the day before this, and then the next day we get this news. And, obviously I'm not the only one talking about this. I want to give a big shout out to all the people on Twitter. Michael and the Truth, there's probably a lot of you in here now. So you guys know who you are. I can't list all of you. And I also want to give a big shout out to Jurassic Liars on YouTube, who's been talking about Donald Trump in August 4th for years now. Okay, so all these people deserve credit, not just me. There's a lot of us that have been on this trail. So I want to make sure that everyone gets their credit, which is why I want to bring people on the live stream. Okay. And in fact, the Civil War thing, I want to really go over here because I told you guys that the assassination of Caesar was what brought about civil wars in Rome. And it seems like they're setting up a very similar thing right now. So in this post, I showed that from Captain America Civil War, the movie, coming out, it was 2,647 days, which is the 383rd prime number. And the movie that came out was Captain America Civil War, which equals 383. So what a coincidence that from Captain America Civil War till today, when Trump is in Montgomery, which was the first capital of the Civil War of the Confederacy, to today is 2647, which is the 383 prime, and Captain America equals 383. Okay. Also, there's another word you can't see here. I think I have it in my history, or I don't. But anyway, the 383 is, it was perfectly scripted with this Civil War movie. So I just wanted to bring that up as well. If you guys want to go read through these posts, they're all in my community section. Anyway, let me go back to my community section. So how's everyone doing in the chat? Casey Jones, welcome to the chat. Jessica Morgan. Let's see here. So who wants to jump on the live stream? Raise their hand in the chat, because I want this to be where people can come on here and chat with me, and we can bring a couple people on if you want. Let's see. And if you guys haven't read my post about the lightning connection, so if no one wants to jump on the chat right now, I'll go ahead and read through this article about the lightning connection. But anyone in the chat, please raise your hand if you want to jump on the live stream. Yeah, that's a good thought on Jamaica. Jamaica is definitely part of this. I haven't really looked a lot into it, but it seems that Trump being born in Jamaica Hospital, and then now the judge that's going to be, judging him is born in Jamaica, and Kamala Harris's dad is born in Jamaica. And if you guys aren't familiar with the show Manifest, so I feel like I got to talk about this show, because this show was completely scripted with Donald Trump and Barack Obama. So if you guys don't know this show, it's about a plane with passengers that disappeared, and basically they time travel and they find themselves 5 years in the future after going through turbulence on the plane. And the plane in the movie is called Flight 828, and it's coming from Jamaica to JFK in New York. Do you guys see the symbolism here? First of all, in Gematria, if you bring up the Sumerian cipher, I really wanted to touch on this. If you bring up the Sumerian cipher, Donald Trump equals 828, okay? And the reason that this number is important, again, is because in the show, it's Flight 828. Sorry, my computer is so wonky. Absolutely wonky. So anyways, in the show, Flight 828, let me just type in Flight 828 so you can see what it says about that. So Flight 828 was a service flight from Montego Bay, Jamaica to John F. Kennedy International Airport. The aircraft departed on April 7th, kind of like Trump equals 47, and was carrying 191 passengers. Well, why is this number important? Because in Gematria, Society of Jesus, which is the modern day Knights Templar, that equals 191. And it was saying in the show, there's 191 passengers on this plane that disappears. Now, again, I told you that the flight is flight 828, like Donald Trump equals 828. And it goes from Jamaica, and Donald Trump was born in Jamaica Hospital in New York. And in the show, the flight goes from Jamaica to New York. Do you guys see how absolutely perfectly scripted it is? And again, just so you guys can see, I'll bring up Donald Trump again. You guys are going to see that he was born in Jamaica Hospital in New York. And again, the show, the flight 828 goes from Jamaica to New York. And not only does it go to New York, it goes to John F. Kennedy, which we already know what happened to him. Okay. And this show just ended. Okay. This show just ended on June 2nd. And at the end of the show, you see Barack Obama. As a matter of fact, one of the last things you see in the show is Barack Obama on TV. So this show was tying Barack Obama and Trump together. I mean, not only because Donald Trump equals 828. Again, I want to make sure that's clear to you guys that Donald Trump equals 828. Do you see this, guys? 828. And the flight in the show is 828. And the next court date for Trump supposedly is on 828, August 28th. Now, does that make sense, guys? I mean, that's why I think nothing might happen to him today. Again, guys, we're just doing our best trying to put their puzzle pieces together. I'm not saying, I don't think any of us think that it's absolutely 100% sure anything's going to happen tonight in Montgomery. But the fact that they have his next court date set for August 28th, which is Donald Trump 828, and the show talks about flight 828, again, from Jamaica. And just look what it says, guys. It disappears, the flight in the show disappears on April 7th, which is 47, which if you type in the number 47, you're going to see how this is all connected to everything. So the number 47 is connected to Democrat, Rabbit, which we're in the year of the rabbit, Caesar, President, Trump, Republican, authority, White House, government. The word that they have on the front page of CNN today is intercede, which equals 47, like Trump, like government, like White House, like president. Trump's great-grandmother was Elizabeth, and the Queen Elizabeth just died. Elizabeth equals 47, authority, Caesar, Democrat, all this. Okay. Notice that also another word they used on CNN today was they said ominous days are ahead, and ominous days equals 47. Like, and just notice that he was holding an umbrella. Just notice that he was holding an umbrella in the front page, and today is 8/4. Sorry, guys, my computer's being absolutely slow. Give me a minute. So he's holding an umbrella. And umbrella equals 8/4, and today is 8/4. Okay, so what a joke that is. And yeah, it's just scripted, guys, and that's why if you guys don't know this show, go check out Manifest. This show has so many clues in it, and like I said, the last thing you see in this show is Barack Obama, and today's Barack Obama's birthday, and that leads me right into the electricity thing, guys. And Joseph is in the chat. I see Joseph Aquaviva, guys. Joseph Aquaviva 2222. Go subscribe to him. How's everyone doing in the chat? Does anyone want to get on the live stream? Raise your hands. Because I'm still waiting for somebody to want to join the live stream. I was really hoping to get somebody on here today, at least one or two of you. Anyways, I'll read through my August 4th lightning decode, and then maybe somebody wants to get on. So last year on 8/4, there was a lightning strike at the White House. 8/4 is the 44th President Barack Obama's birthday. Lightning equals 44. In Strong's Concordance, Barack means lightning, and Obama means from a high place. So Barack Obama can translate to lightning from the high place. Today, Donald Trump, so what a coincidence that today on Obama's birthday, Trump is in Alabama, which has the same letters as Obama, Alabama, and Montgomery, which translates to mountain of the ruler, just like Satan falls from a high place, like a mountain, right? So Barack Obama means lightning from the high place, and Montgomery, Alabama has a similar meaning because, again, Montgomery means mountain of a ruler, and Alabama, in my opinion, represents Obama. Alabama, Obama, okay? So a big shout out to Sandra, one of the subscribers, who pointed out that Montgomery's first city railway was in April 15th, 1886, which was called Lightning Route. And Abe Lincoln died on that day in history. And Montgomery was the original capital of the Confederacy during the Civil War, which Lincoln was involved in. The numbers don't lie either, because 8/4, which is today, has date numerology of 55. 8 plus 4 plus 20 plus 23 equals 55. Like lightning, like Satan, like Montgomery, Alabama. Satan falls like lightning in Luke 10:18. Okay. Now, I should also mention that last year on 8/4 at the White House, one girl survived, but a couple from Wisconsin died. Wisconsin. So what happened was, again, I told you guys this earlier, but what happened was last year on Obama's birthday, a lightning strike at the White House. Barack Obama means lightning from a high place. Wisconsin, the two people that died of the lightning strike were from Wisconsin. Like lightning equals 55 and 44, and Wisconsin 55-44. And now this year on 8/4, the big news is Montgomery, which is also 44. Lightning bolt equals 149. Okay, let me show you guys this. So lightning bolt equals 149. And today is the day leaving 149 days left in the year. So last year on 149 days left in the year, there was a lightning bolt, and lightning bolt equals 149. Now, don't forget, guys, that in Gematria, Skull and Bones, the secret society, equals 149. Like today is the day leaving 149 days left in the year. But look at the Gematria of Skull and Bones, and look at the Gematria of Lightning Bolt, and you're going to see that right here at the top, guys, that they almost have a perfect match in all ciphers, Lightning Bolt and Skull and Bones. So again, what's the chances that there's a lightning bolt on the 149 days left in the year, and Skull and Bones 149, lightning bolt 149, and that day is the day that the 44th president, Barack Obama, which means lightning from a high place, that's his birthday. And again, he was number 44, like lightning. But anyways, guys, Montgomery, Alabama, which Trump is going to be at today, equals 68. Donald John Trump, 68. Barack Obama, 68. President's death, 68. And Trump assassination, 68. And lightning bolt equals 68. Earlier this year, on January 13th, which was a Friday the 13th, there was a movie that came out called Plane. And in the movie, a lightning strike strikes a plane out of the sky and crash lands. So you guys see, once again, a lightning falling out of the sky, causing a crash to Earth. Okay, always this symbolism. And in the movie is called Plane, and plane equals 48, kind of like today can be written 48. And the star of the plane movie is Gerard Butler, and he was born on the day leaving 48 days left in the year. And his birthday is 11/13, which means Gerard Butler's birthday, guys, is 11/13. And he was the guy starred in Plane movie where the lightning bolt hits his plane. And today, hold on, I think I messed that up. Hold on, let me go back and check this. I'm not sure what I was reading there. Oh, sorry, guys. Today is 14 weeks and 3 days. Today is 14 weeks and 3 days before Gerard Butler's birthday. Looks like Joseph's coming on. Are you trying to log on now, Joseph? I'll put the link in there if you need the link. Okay, the link's in the chat for you to jump on. Anyways, guys, you guys can go read all of my posts in my community section. I went over most of this, but if you guys want to actually go read it and comprehend it better, go to my community section on YouTube. All the posts are there. Also, you can go to my Twitter. My Twitter's Decoding with Cody also. And you can basically read my posts there as well. So I'm always making posts. It's easier for me, honestly, for people to comprehend. It's sometimes easier for me to write. So it looks like Joseph is going to jump on, and then, anyone else who wants to jump on. I don't want to have more than 3 or 4 people on, or 2 or 3 people on, but yes, Morgan in the chat says that 84 is also the number of years that Uranus takes around the zodiac. Yes, you're right. This is very connected to Uranus. Let's see. Joseph Aquaviva, I see you in the chat. Hold on. Can you hear me, Joseph?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Actually, I think it's pretty good. I need to turn my volume up, but I can hear you.
All right. Yeah, I'm just outside taking a walk, and I was listening to your show. I said, it's Obama's birthday. What a perfect day to call in and talk some numbers.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're the expert Obama guy in all this gematria stuff. I mean, you're the guy I always turn to for Obama. So it's perfectly fitting that that you can jump on today.
Yeah. So I was thinking, of course, there might be a ritual today connected with Obama. I haven't seen anything yet, but of course, like you were saying last year on Obama's birthday, the lightning strike at the White House that killed the elderly couple from Wisconsin. And of course, Wisconsin is 44, like lightning 44. Obama was number 44. Fallen Angel is also 44.
Okay, yeah.
And I talk all the time about the connection with Brittany Griner and Obama.
Yeah.
Griner equals 44. And it was on the same day last year, Obama's birthday. Brittany Griner was found guilty and sentenced on Obama's birthday. And that's very interesting because Brittany Griner's birthday is October 18th, 10/18.
Yep.
Like Luke 10:18, I beheld Satan as lightning from heaven. Barak means lightning, Obama means the heights. So 2 big rituals last year on Obama's birthday.
Yeah, it's absolutely perfect, dude. Like I just don't see how. I know you always say this on your channel all the time. I just don't see how people can't see how clear this stuff is. I mean,
yeah, and it's funny because I told everybody from the jump about Brittany Griner. I said I guarantee you it's connected to Obama, and then Griner's found guilty and sentenced on Obama's birthday. And then Griner swapped for Victor Bout, the Merchant of Death. Victor Bout is 153. Brittany Griner made his or her, I don't know what it is. I think it's a dude, but Griner made his return 153 days before his birthday, which is the 10/18, and got swapped for Victor Bout 153. Antichrist Obama's 153. Barry Soetoro 153. The Pet Goat 153. And the Pet Goat was the story they were reading in the classroom on 9/11.
Yep.
And it was located on page 153 of Reading Mastery 2.
Okay.
So
Jesuit
Pet
Order
Goat,
153 too. Jesuit
yep,
Order.
and the Illuminati.
Yep.
And I mean, what are the odds?
That's a big number because that was the number that that was the miraculous catch of fish, wasn't it? 153.
Yep, 153.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what are the odds that the Pet Goat is 153 on page 153? Antichrist Obama 153, Barry Soetoro 153, Victor Bout 153, and Brittany Griner makes her return 153 days before her 10/18 birthday. And then, you know, I Pet Goat 2, right?
Yep.
That's from Heliofont.
Does that equal
right?
153?
And Heliofont is 153. And then Heliofont I Pet Goat 2 is 201. And then I Pet Goat 2 is 666. So it's just like there's no denying any of this stuff. And, you know, I Pet Goat shows Obama with a graduation cap next to a lightning bolt and a dragon. Dragon, another name for the devil. Dragon equals 32, 31, 103. Obama 32, 31, 103.
Yep.
So I do believe Obama is the biblical Antichrist. Either that or they're scripting it to look that way. But I don't know why they would do that with only a handful of us that seem to know what's going on. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you a lot about Obama. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that they script him to be this person because, again, his birthday tells the whole story, in my opinion. Yep. I mean, it's like
the 216th day of the year, 6 times 6 times 6. Barack is 216, fallen angels 216, and then it's the day leaving 149 days left in the year. Antichrist is 149. Revelation is 149. Beast System 149. Lightning Bolt 149. And then you got the connection with Obama and Skull and Bones. So Skull and Bones is 149, right?
Yep.
Right, but Skull and Bones is also 76. Like Barack Obama 76. Obama's book, A Promised Land 76. The Georgia Guidestones went down on 7/6. They were built under the alias RC Christian, which equals 76. And in the other 3 base ciphers, RC Christian is a perfect match to Pope Francis. Right?
Right. Yep.
Now, who's the head of the Jesuits or the founder? Ignatius of Loyola, right?
Yep.
Ignatius of Loyola equals 231. The Guidestones were 231 inches tall. They opened 231 days after Obama's birthday, and the first rule of the Guidestones, maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature, equals 231. And they just held a new simulation called catastrophic contagion, which equals 231, and it was held on Ignatius of Loyola's birthday, exactly 231 weeks after the Clade X simulation. So how is that a coincidence?
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't hear about the catastrophic. What is it called again? It's
called catastrophic contagion. It's the newest one. They had Clade X, Event 201, and then catastrophic contagion, which equals 231. It was held exactly 231 weeks after Clade X. And then you find out the Guidestones open 231 days after Obama's birthday, and they were 231 inches tall. I mean,
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I didn't know this 231 one. This is a new one for me.
The Georgia Guidestones were located in Elberton, Georgia. Elberton, 44, Georgia, 44. So it's a full circle back to Obama.
Yeah, and they keep bringing up these 44s too. I was talking about Julius Caesar too, about him being assassinated in 44,
Right.
and this whole parallel right now with Trump is completely, and that's why I think this is happening. You know, like I said, what the assassinations of Caesar led to the civil wars in Rome, right? And
Right.
Trump being in Montgomery, which equals 44, on the 44th
Right.
president's birthday. And you have Wisconsin in the news right now, actually, because there was a plane crash there a few days ago. A football player's daughter died in
Right.
Wisconsin. And I've documented before that the word airplane crash is actually really connected with Wisconsin, because if you type in airplane crash in Wisconsin, you're going to see that it's pretty much a, I don't know exactly how many ciphers it matches in, but I know it's pretty much a full match. And one of the famous people that died in Wisconsin in an airplane crash was Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Right.
So, and he died. I don't remember what year he died, but anyways, I'm just saying that Wisconsin being in the news right now for a plane crash is interesting, because I already talked about this show Manifest. Have you watched that show at all?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, the Manifest show, like I was talking about earlier, it's about Flight 828, right? Which Donald Trump equals 828,
Right.
and it leaves from Jamaica. Basically, what happens is the flight disappears, and they time travel through time, and they end up arriving 5 years late from when they departed. So everyone, when they get to the airport, everyone's wondering how they arrived 5 years late. They all thought the plane had been lost and died, right? And when
Right.
they arrive, they realize they have these special abilities to like see the future that God gave them. And it's a really deep show, and it's got so much numbers in it, and it points to the year of the dragon also. It actually, in the movie, in the show, they decode this date, right? And the date is
Right.
they call it the death date. And the date in the show is June 2nd, 2024. And so there's a lot more to look at with that, but anyways, I just wanted to point that out because, again, Flight 828 disappears from Jamaica to New York, and Donald Trump was born in Jamaica, or not in Jamaica. He was born in Jamaica Hospital in New York.
Right.
And Donald J. Harris, which is Kamala's dad, was also from Jamaica, and the judge that they just appointed to take the case from Trump is also born in Jamaica.
Oh,
So,
wow.
this Jamaica thing is very interesting. I'm going to probably do more decodes on it, but another thing is with you, at the very end of the show, the last thing you see in the show, pretty much, because the show ended on June 2nd this year. And the
Right.
last thing you see is Obama on the TV.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's literally like the last thing you see. Like, it's not the exact last thing you see, but it's really like the very, it's in the very last, like, one or two scenes of the whole show.
Right.
And the fact that it's tied with Trump and Obama, because the plane, I believe, is completely tied to Trump because it's Flight 828. But
Right.
it's funny that the very last part of the show, it's like an emphasis on Obama, right?
Yeah. Obama and Trump have been, pretty much tied at the hip from the jump, and it's all very biblical. It's my belief that Trump, he's the seventh king from Revelation 17, and Obama is the sixth and the eighth king. It says that the eighth king is of the seven and goeth into perdition. So the son of perdition is the eighth king. And the Bible says that it's a former leader. He's of the seven. So he's of the seven kings, and he's coming back into power, but on a bigger role. So I think he's already backing away with Biden being his front man.
Right. I think I've always thought in a way that Barack Obama could end up being like the leader of the United Nations if there's a one world government set up.
Yep. And that's exactly what I think. And I think he's just going to be world leader. I think the United States is mystery Babylon that the Bible talks about. Star Spangled Banner equals 666 in Jewish and other reasons. New York equals 666. But yeah, I think this place is about to be destroyed between now and the end of 2025. And that's how late in the game I think we are. I mean, this is pretty serious stuff when they roll out, the real thing 666 days after the simulation. Like, They're not playing around, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's...
And the big confirmation I got was back in 2020. I was trying to figure out, you know, who is Trump biblically? You know, if Obama's the Antichrist, what does that make Trump? And I found that seventh king Trump equals 222. And as we know, I mean, there's probably nobody else more connected to the 222 than Trump. You had the first U.S. case of COVID in King County, Seattle, 222 days after Trump's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
King County, seventh King Trump, 222. Trump Organization equals 222. Donald John Trump Sr. equals 222. Trump made the famous calm before the storm statement on the 5th of October, 2017, exactly 222 days before the Clade X simulation.
Yeah.
It was declared at PANDEMIC March 11th, 2020, exactly 222 months after 9/11, while Trump was president. Of course, Wuhan coronavirus is 222, World Economic Forum 222. When you write out event 201, it's 222.
Mm-hmm.
Order out of chaos 222, as above, so below 222.
Yep.
And then in the year 2022, Ivana Trump, Ivana equals 222 in satanic. In reverse satanic, Trump equals 222. And in the year 2022, Ivana Trump falls down the stairs and dies 222 days. 222 days before her birthday. And in the same year, Obama tested positive for COVID 222 days after his birthday. And in Gematria, Barack Obama, the Antichrist, is 222. The Beast of Revelation, 222. Mm-hmm. Antichrist system, 222. The word beast is 222 in satanic. So, and this is crazy for me personally, because I say this all the time. It was in 2019, I started seeing the number 222 everywhere. And back then, I never even heard of Gematria. And this was months before COVID. So for me, it was like God was literally getting my attention, speaking through numbers, woke me up, and now I do what I do. But I haven't seen anything to change my opinion on Trump being the seventh king and Obama being the Antichrist, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like the way you have to look at things is you have to just be very clear-minded and not try to come up with fantasies when you see that things are clearly connected. See, a lot of times I've noticed that in this community, whatever Gematria part of the community you're part of, because I follow a lot of different people, but
right, yeah, me too. I try to be well-rounded.
Yeah, and what I find is that sometimes people, they don't just look at things so clearly. Even me, maybe sometimes I get caught up in that, but at the same time, like there's very clear things. Like what you say on your channel all the time is the obvious, clear rituals that I don't think can be debated at all. Like that's why I like what you do, because it's like it's very clear, the 666 days and all the stuff that you just said, but pretty much, you know, like it's
I try not to cover anything that's even like questionable.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like Donald Trump indictment. I mean, that's so clear. The Donald Trump indictment, the newest one, August 1st, 48 days after his birthday, Donald Trump 48, indictment 48 in the same cipher. So that's ridiculous. And then August 1st, this is all about January 6th, the insurrection, right? The indictment comes August 1st, 159 days before the anniversary of the insurrection. And in Gematria, insurrection, indictment, and Donald Trump all equal 159 in the same cipher. And the indictment was 159 days before the anniversary of January 6th. Like, there's no debating this stuff, really.
Yeah,
people just got to wake up.
I saw you talking about that the other day with insurrection 159, indictment 159, Donald Trump 159.
Yeah, it's unreal. And then the indictment before that was on June 8th, the 159th day of the year.
Yeah, okay, yep.
It's 6/8. Donald
right?
J. Trump 6. It was the last one was on June 8th. Donald J. Trump 68, Donald John Trump 68, indicted 68, and Mar-a-Lago 68.
Well,
and that one was for the Mar-a-Lago classified documents.
Right. This 68 number is what I've been really focusing on the last few days because, again, Barack Obama 68, Lightning Bolt 68, but the judge who's going to be in charge of the case now, Tanya Chutkin, who's born in Jamaica, 68.
Right.
Yesterday, you saw that. Did you see the story I posted earlier, or I was talking about earlier in the stream, where there was a guy on a plane. His last name was Montgomery. And
no, I missed it. I came in late.
So there was a plane, a flight from Atlanta to New Orleans yesterday. Okay.
Right.
And in order to get, if you look at the map, in order to get from Atlanta to New Orleans, you have to fly straight over Montgomery. I mean, if it's a straight line, like you could never fly straight from Atlanta to New Orleans without flying straight over Montgomery.
Right.
And the news came out yesterday that the guy on this plane held a glass piece of something, a glass, to the flight attendant's neck. And his last name was Montgomery.
Wow.
Okay. And they flew over Montgomery to get from Atlanta to New Orleans. And the guy's name was Montgomery. And if you type in Atlanta to New Orleans, it equals 68, like Montgomery, Alabama, 68, like Donald John Trump, 68, all in the same cipher.
Right.
Like Lightning Bolt 68 in that cipher as well. And there was an article posted also back in 2017 or something with Trump on the front, and it said "Dead Clown Walking," and he was dressed up as a clown. Dead Clown Walking 68.
Wow.
And it matches his name.
But yeah, 68, big number with Obama too. Of course, Barack Obama equals 68. Antichrist equals 68. Beast system equals 68. And you had the Ukraine war began on a 68 date numerology, 2 plus 24 plus 20 plus 22, 68. And Ukraine war equals 68. Ukraine war is a perfect match to Antichrist in every cipher. Yeah, same thing with birtherism, which was only between Trump and Obama. Birtherism is a perfect match to Antichrist.
Wow. Yeah,
I mean, what are the odds?
I see that now, that Antichrist and Ukraine war, exact match.
Yeah, that's another reason why I think we're in the end times. I mean, of all things. Oh, here's something very unique. Ukraine in Jewish gematria equals 474, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why does that matter? Barack Obama 474, Beast Obama 474, Fallen Angel 474. Brittany Griner missed exactly 474 days of basketball.
Did she?
And Ukraine is 474. Yeah, and she's in Russia and the whole thing.
Wow.
But yeah, just something else I noticed. And then on this new season of Black Mirror, you know, where they show a lot of predictive programming.
Yeah.
This girl has to like sacrifice 3 people or the apocalypse is going to happen. It's going to be the end of the world. And this demon shows her a vision of what's going to happen if she doesn't sacrifice these people. And he shows her a nuclear blast on TV, and it shows a blast diameter of 474 miles.
Really?
474. Then there's a movie called A Quiet Place about like an alien invasion where they got to be real quiet or the creatures will like kill them. So yeah. A Quiet Place equals 474, and A Quiet Place 2, the sequel, it begins on day number 474 after the alien invasion.
No way.
So that's another number I've been keeping up with. Also, Akhenaten equals 474. I think Obama could be the clone of Akhenaten. The pharaoh, he was the 10th ruler of the 18th, 1018. Yeah. They look identical. And if you put their names together, Akhenaten Obama equals 666.
Mm-hmm. Well, look at that.
And Akhenaten, he was known as like a rebel who like he changed it from the worship of many sun gods to the one singular sun god, the Aten. And Obama's logo is literally the rising sun.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they look identical. Just go to Google one time, whenever, and type in Akhenaten Obama. They look identical. It's crazy. You know, and then they got the movie like The Mummy Returns. It's like, are they telling us something?
Yeah, I mean
And think about America's like the new Egypt with the pyramid on the dollar and all that.
right, and this
And
does go back. All go back to Egypt. I mean, even before Egypt, but
right,
like the it's just so clear a lot of times with these it's like I've been talking about the star Sirius a lot.
yeah,
This Sirius, we're in the dog days of summer, which is all about Sirius. That's why you're going to see a lot of star symbolism, and like you're going to see this
right,
five-pointed pentagram. What I found out the other day is that pentagram, which is the symbol of Sirius, it's a five-pointed star. Pentagram equals 95. Sirius equals 95. Now,
nice.
the thing is, I made a quick video about this, and that's all. It's all connected to like this dog star Sirius, and you had this bicycle guy who was the rising star. He died, right? The headline was this bicycle. He was like 17-year-old kid. His name was like
Magnus White. Yeah, I did
Yeah,
a decode on it.
yeah, and he was the rising star, right? So that was the Sirius symbolism.
Right,
And
rising star. Yep.
right behind him was the pentagrams on the flag. All the pentagrams on our flag are representative of Sirius, because even Washington, D.C. was set up to be in alignment with the sun and Sirius being in alignment. So
Right.
this Sirius thing is interesting, because also at this time of the year, Sirius and Venus, which is also known as the morning star, which could go connect back to Lucifer, Venus and Sirius rise in the morning sky together.
Does morning star equal 149?
I think it does, actually. Let me look. Hold on.
Obama's birthday, the day leaving 149.
Yeah, I spelled it wrong.
Morning without the U.
Okay, yeah, morning without the U. That's what I thought. It does equal. Yeah, morning star does. It's interesting. Morning star,
and it equals a 68 too, like Antichrist. So it's 149 and 68, like Antichrist.
It also equals 148, like Donald J. Trump.
Yep, like Beast System, like the Art of the Deal. They're all 148.
That translates to 888, right? Which is also a big number.
Barack Obama the Beast is 888 too.
Yeah. What's interesting is Trump does have a two cipher match to Morningstar, which is interesting.
Well, Trump's calm before the storm statement was exactly 888 days before March 11th, 2020, the day the world changed.
Right, yeah.
And he made the statement on the 5th of October. 5th of October is 888, the new normal 888, satanic ritual 888, the Freemasons, Donald J. Trump, the Art of the Deal, and the Synagogue of Satan. They're all 888.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, I mean, it's that number. I did something when he was I did a decode about that number when Elon Musk put him back on Twitter. It was like 888 days after his birthday or something.
Yeah, when he was in court last for the classified documents one on June 13th, the day leaving 201 days left in the year, that was 888 days after the January 6th riot.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you had the Trump raid on Mar-a-Lago on August 8th, 88. Trump is 88. Back to the Future, they got to reach 88 miles per hour.
Yep.
Biff represents Trump, and Biff always has the Gray Sports Almanac, which equals 222.
Mm-hmm. You know what's very interesting about your connection with Trump being the seventh king? There's this connection with Elvis, okay?
Right.
So obviously
Elvis I watched Jurassic too, so I've been keeping up with the connection, and I think that's what the connection is. Trump is the seventh king. Elvis was the king. He looks like Elvis. I think that's the connection. He's the king. He's the seventh king. That's why King County.
With Elvis being 88 this year, right? And Elvis being 88 and Trump equaling 88, and I'm just watching out for 88. What's going to come that day? Because, that's 8 days before Elvis's death date. So Elvis is 88 this year, and 8 days before his death date is 88. So even if you take Elvis's death date, 8/16, you can get an 888 out of it, because what is 16? It's 8 plus 8, so 888. And so that's why I'm really watching this time period, just in general, from pretty much all of August is interesting to me, and then September is the whole. Just trying to get through August first, I guess, but so it's very interesting. And tomorrow, I just wanted to bring up something too, as you were talking about the 474. I was talking about Ford Field earlier in the decode, and tomorrow WWE is having an event in Ford Field, and Ford Field happens to equal 474. And
Okay.
Ford Field is very connected to the death of Abraham. Well, the name Ford is very connected to the death of Lincoln and also to JFK, because Lincoln was in Ford's theater when he was shot, and JFK was in the Ford Lincoln car. And
murder is also 474.
Okay, well, that's interesting. Yeah. So I'm really watching for tomorrow, because WWE has been doing this ritual with Roman Reigns, right? Roman Reigns. And this is all about, that's why I've been watching today and tomorrow, because it's just, but anyway, I just mentioned that 474 for everyone that was watching earlier, because I was talking about Ford Field. And when you were talking about that, I noticed that also equals 474. So
yeah, it's crazy, because I've been talking about Obama and the 474 since 2020, and then I found out Brittany Griner missed a total of 474 games or days of basketball, and I'm like, that's
total days on the calendar.
Yeah, total calendar days, 474 days, and I'm sure you could, if you just type in Brittany Griner 474, you'll find some articles on it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sure you'll find something.
Okay, let me look
just
it up.
Type in Brittany Griner 474.
My computer.
Yeah, she missed it. But yeah, Fallen Angel is 474 and satanic. Beast Obama, Barack Obama with the Luke 10:18 spelling, Akhenaten, Ukraine, they're all 474. It's just a number that keeps popping up, and Akhenaten is also 474.
Yeah, I mean, that's a number I'll be watching for more often now, for sure. Well, first of all, the 474 just reminds me of the 4774, and that's obviously, we know how big the 4774 is. Lucifer, Jesus, government, all the president, everything's 47 or 74. Like.
Right.
So I mean, it's just funny. It's just funny that number, when you combine the numbers, it's also big, right? You combine the 4, 7, and the 4 together, you get another big connection. So.
Right.
Yeah, it didn't come up anything when I typed in Brittany Griner 474, but I'm trying to remember when
you type in 474 days of basketball, maybe.
Okay, hold on.
But yeah, it should be in my most recent Brittany Griner video. If anyone is interested, check it out sometime.
Yeah, make sure you guys go subscribe to his channel, Joseph Aquaviva 2222. I'm sure a lot of you guys probably here are already subscribed.
Maybe they scrubbed it from the internet after my decode.
Yeah. Well, here it is. Brittany Griner's return is a big moment for WNBA. It's been 474 days since the last time Griner played.
There you go.
Yeah. So, I mean, they pretty much tell us right there, It's like, why would they even put that? They want to make sure that number gets in there, obviously.
Yeah, and like I said, I've been talking about 474 and Obama for years before the Griner thing even came up.
Right.
And I told everybody when the Griner thing first started, I said, guys, Griner is 44. This whole thing is about Obama because the 10/18 birthday, her birthday 10/18, and then she's found guilty and sentenced on Obama's birthday. I'm like, does that not prove everything I've been saying?
Yeah.
And then we got the 474 on top of that. I'm like, I mean, it's like manifesting in front of us.
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting about this all too for me is with this 222 thing is, I don't know how you feel about Kamala Harris taking over before like the,
Yeah, I think it could happen. Yeah, President Harris 222, President Kamala Harris 222.
Yeah, I
think it's in the cards.
I see so much for Kamala Harris also just because we know that they've been, Biden has been having his cancerous lesions. I've been talking a lot about Biden and a possible plane crash. I don't know exactly how it'll play out, but at any rate, I see, because like you said, President Kamala Harris 222, President Harris 222, Vice President Harris also equals 222. And and also one interesting thing I found the other day, one of my subscribers shared with me. So do you know that Biden was born 8,005 days exactly before Kamala Harris? Okay.
Nah, didn't know that.
And she was president. She had presidential power on 11/19/2021 for 85 minutes. And
When he went
again,
under the colonoscopy ritual.
right. And again, they were born 8,005, which is 85. Okay.
Right.
And this 11th of August is going to be interesting because it's 8,005 days after 9/11.
Wow.
And 8,005 is also 85, and September 11th equals 85 in Gematria.
Right.
So I think that this 85, and I've been talking about this 85 a lot. Matrix equals 85, Christ equals 85, Blackout 85. I mean, I just think there's going to be a lot of interesting 85 things coming because, the fact that she was president or she had power for 85 minutes,
right.
And I think she represents the feminine that they're trying to push to because, again, she would represent, even though she's probably not really feminine. She's probably not really a girl, but she represents the archetype of the feminine. And the fact that
right.
matrix equals 85. And if you translate the word matrix, it just means mother. Right. So that to me that's why I think she was 85 minutes. And we've had all this symbolism too with the Christ, like the birth of the new world order. Like, I think that's what they do with all these birthing symbolisms. They're birthing the Antichrist, birthing the new world order. And that Queen Elizabeth and King Charles thing was also symbolic for that. But yeah, I think there's so much coming. I just thought that was interesting. 8,005 days since 9/11. Also, you might know about the number 56. I'm sure you know a lot about that number. But
Sinead O'Connor dead at 56 after ripping up a picture of the Pope. And what does Pope equal? 56.
And Crazy. You know what? It's 263 months from 9/11 on 8/11. So that's the 56 prime. And so that I'm just saying 8/11. And didn't we have this emergency broadcast thing come out on 8/11? Like, was it like 1 or 2 years ago? Do you remember that?
I'm not too sure.
It was like emergency broadcast. They said it was a mistake, but they said that on 8/11, I think it was the emergency broadcast. They came on I don't remember when it was or what it said, but it was interesting. So,
but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Kamala winds up in there, and also if something happens to Trump, with a staged assassination or whatever. But yeah, those are two things I definitely think could definitely happen. Kamala could get in there briefly, and I think something could happen to Trump, but it's all going to be staged or it'll be a body double or what. Trump knows about it,
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, it's it's obviously they all know what they're doing. It's obvious they perform these rituals perfectly, especially the big players, right? And even down to the smallest details, like the football games, like what I just saw last night in the very first football game of the season was crazy to me because it's just a preseason game, but it's actually the first actual game of the full season, right? Including the preseason.
On 83 football 83.
Right. And so what's interesting when this first game it was the Jets, like 9/11 when the Jets, right, against the Browns. Yeah. And the Browns have the dog as their symbol, which was a reference to the dog star, I believe. Right. But what happened was at the very end of the game ended on an interception. And the guy who intercepted the pass for the Cleveland Browns, he was from Las Vegas. And where does the season end this year? It ends in Las Vegas. And you're telling me that the guy who ends the very first game of the season with an interception was also from Las Vegas, and the whole season ends in Las Vegas?
Right.
And
that's crazy.
Yeah. So again, even it's just like, how do they script it down so perfectly to that level? Because I mean, this guy, and guess what number he wore? He wore 36, which is the 666 connection, right? Like, and Vegas is connected, obviously, to me. When I think Vegas, I think Sin City, I think devil, I think Satan, I think, so.
Barack equals 36 also.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, that's why I thought it was really interesting. That's how the game ended. But,
yeah, for sure.
And I know we've all seen these really, I've done lots of decodes on these football games. Even the numbers in the games are really scripted. Like, it's crazy. So,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, it's tonight will be interesting in Montgomery, and see what happens, see what Trump has to say. And then, yeah, I think also watching 8-8 this year, because I made a bunch of connections with 8-8. And you know that movie number 23, right?
You know, I've only seen like bits and pieces. I should go ahead and watch that whole thing since it's about numbers.
Well, they
But
show
yeah,
you
Jim Carrey and the 23, right?
yeah, they show you Gematria straight up in that
Oh,
movie.
do they? Oh, now I gotta watch it.
If you watch my decode on it, you'll see I did a number 23 live stream,
Okay.
and Jim Carrey showed. You can watch the scene too on YouTube. You can just look it up. The numbers. It's like the number. I can't remember what the video is called, but just type in number 23 numbers scene or something like that, and see what happens in that movie. Is the guy's name is Walter Sparrow. Okay.
Right.
And his name is Walter Sparrow, and his name Walter equals 83, and 83 is the 23rd prime.
Right.
And the movie is 23. Well, his last name Sparrow, and this is what he has drawn up on the board. His name Sparrow also equals. Well, I think that's not what it was I was thinking, but anyways, the whole thing with this 23 was he even tells you, like, they show you so much in that movie. It's crazy. Like, I don't know. It's definitely a must watch, because honestly, I had watched it before, but I wasn't even really into Gematria at that time. So to go back and watch it on his whiteboard where he's spelling out his name. Oh, I remember what it was. He was showing his wife Gematria on the whiteboard.
Oh wow.
But they don't fully show you the whiteboard. They show you very, like, parts of it. But anyway, he has his last name Sparrow written out on the board, and you can't see the full name Sparrow. But because we know what his name is in the movie, we know that the word Sparrow is there, because you can see like the last few letters of the name.
Right.
And then it has the equal symbol, and then it has 79. Well, what's Sparrow?
Oh.
It equals 79.
Right.
So the trick is that the only Gematria cipher that they clearly tell you in the movie is the ordinal cipher, okay?
Right.
Because he spells out his name Walter. Well, I can't remember exactly what he does, but he actually gives you the ordinal cipher. But in secret on the whiteboard, if you look and you pay attention, you can see they're using the reverse cipher, which is Sparrow, that equals 74 in the reverse cipher. So, I'm sorry, 79, which also equals murder, right? And the whole movie is about a murder. And
wow, that's wild.
Yeah, so his first and last name equals 79 in that show, and both in the show's about a murder. But what's really crazy is when he's explaining to his wife about the number 23, he goes over to this wall where there's this red paint on the wall. They had painted their wall red. And basically what he does is he says, why did you paint this wall red? He's talking to his wife, and he names the name of the paint. I can't remember what the name of the paint was. Shit. Red. Sorry, I don't remember, but it's in my decode on my number 23 decode, but he says red 5, I think. Yeah, red 5. And when you type in red 5, you get the most crazy connection in the world, because the whole movie I talked about when I decoded the movie was all about the numbers 23 and 59.
Right.
And when you type in red 5 and you use the number 5, it equals 32 in ordinal, which is the reverse of 23. He even mentions that in the movie, that 23 can be reversed to 32.
Right.
And so we know now, that gave me even more confirmation that it's okay to reverse numbers, because in the movie, he even mentions that you reverse 23 to 32.
Yeah.
And so anyway, red 5 equals 32, 23, 23, and 59 in all the ciphers. So, and like I said, right after that's when they're talking about the murder. So anyways, the point of this is what I'm saying is that August 8th falls 203 days after Jim Carrey's birthday this year.
Right.
Which is 23. And it also falls 23 weeks before his next birthday.
Interesting.
And 8-8 has 23 date numerology. And it's on a Tuesday, which equals 23. And what's interesting is the date numerology for 8/8/2023 is 59/23/23, like the red 5 paint can equals 59/23/23.
Gotcha.
And it's 23. It's connected to Jim Carrey, who played in the movie, because it's 203 days after his birthday and 23 weeks before his next.
And we're in the year 23.
Yes, and what's interesting about that is he shares a birthday with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who's been all over the news right now. As a matter of fact, he even called out Joe Biden because he wanted protection because he's afraid he's going to get assassinated, just like his father and his uncle.
Right.
So that's why I'm really watching assassinations right now, because also today is 160 prime days after the insurrection.
Right.
And 160 is assassination. And of course, the insurrection was on 1/6, and the number 160 could also be written 1/6. So,
right.
And in that headline that they have on CNN today, intercede, they say the top headline is Trump wants the court to intercede, and they have that word in quotations. And the word intercede equals 160, just like it's 160 prime days after the insurrection.
Right.
And, assassination equals 160. So that was a big clue for me. I don't know if it'll happen, but it's just interesting for sure.
Yeah. I think eventually, though, the Trump thing will happen. Not sure when, but I think that's going to be the ultimate order out of chaos. They could even say, there's so many ways they could go about it, but they could try to take him out right before the election, or they could do it right after. They could say he won the election, then took him out, or they could say he, another election was stolen, then they took him out because he was going to fight it. But whatever they do, I mean, they got probably more than half the country thinking he's going to come back and save the day, which we know ain't going to happen because this place is not going to be saved. This place is only going to get worse.
What's interesting is I had found this movie because there's a lot of information pointing to 2025. And matter of fact, there's a Amazon show called, it's like Lockdown 2025.
Right.
And there's also a show called 2025 where the world is enslaved by a virus.
Yeah, I think they're going to pull another one of those too.
Yeah, and also there is a show about 2025 where it's kind of like a Purge spinoff of the movie The Purge.
Right.
And in this, if you watch the trailer to this 2025 movie, it's called Blood, White, and Blue. Okay.
Oh wow.
And it has Trump speaking in the trailer. Okay.
Right.
But I believe that it mentions that the guy in the movie is somehow it's connected to the name Harris. I don't remember exactly how, but what I see from this movie, if they're going to follow this predictive programming from this movie, it's going to be Harris versus Trump, and there's going to be chaos around this in this.
Yeah, that could definitely happen.
Because they even I can't remember where they mentioned the name Harris, if it's in the credits or if it's in the preview, but I know that Trump's voice is in the background, and of course they're wearing all these masks, like the Purge masks and stuff. So yeah, I mean, if 2024 seems, I guess for me right now though, it's like getting through 2023 first, and then we'll worry about 2024 and then 2025. But it seems like 2025 is not going to be a good year. So we really got to hunker down and wake as many people up as we can before that, because, it doesn't look.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what this world's going to look like in 2025 at the rate of things.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you're right. We just got to keep waking up as many people as we can.
Yeah. And like I said, that's what I'm doing here every day, just trying to expose the rituals. And I know that's what you do. So
channel number 9.
Yeah. Luckily, I haven't gotten anything deleted yet, but I'm being censored a lot. I just recently tried to monetize, and ever since I started posting live streams and stuff, they started immediately demonetizing my videos.
Oh, wow. Yeah. On this newest channel I tried to monetize when I had no strikes, no nothing. And they said, due to your harmful content, you cannot monetized. So I've never been monetized. But
Really?
yeah, they don't want this stuff getting out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, guys in the chat, if you guys go support Joseph's channel, he needs the support just like everyone in the community. So if you guys are able to do that.
Yeah, come check me out. Give me a sub. Much appreciated.
I think James, Rick James in the chat posted your link, which thank you for doing. Thank you, Rick James, for posting Joseph's link in the chat.
Much appreciated. But I'm gonna hop off, brother. I just got done with the walk, so I'm gonna get this sweaty shirt off of me, and I'm gonna watch the rest of your live.
Okay, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me on, man. Much appreciated, and I'll definitely come on another time.
Again. Yeah, sure. Anytime you want to come on, no problem with me. I like to get people on here, but there's some people are just shy, I think. So.
Right. Plus, this is such a particular thing we're talking about. You know.
Yeah.
It's hard to get people to talk about this stuff, but
yeah,
got to keep trying.
All right, man. Well, take care. Have a good night there, and
you too, man. And
thanks for everything you do.
You too, man. Keep up the great work, and I'll talk to you again soon.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, man. Later.
All right, guys. Well, Joseph has left, and thanks again for coming on. So is there anyone else in the chat that would like to jump on? I'm going to keep this live stream going if there's people that want to jump on. Once again, thanks, Rick James, for sharing his link. Like I said, Joseph has a great memory. He's great with the numbers. So it was great to have him on here and give you guys a crash course with a lot of these numbers. I know a lot of these things, but my memory's not as good as Joseph's memory. So I have to kind of remind myself sometimes. Sean, can you do 5-10 minutes? Yeah, sure, man. If you want to jump on, you can jump on as well. Do you need the link again, Sean, or do you want me to, or I'll just post it in the chat again. So what else is going on in the chat, guys? Leslie, she says that was fun. You and Joseph should do more collabs. Yeah, I like I said, Joseph's one of my favorite decoders, so I really enjoyed that. I'm wondering if there's anybody on here from Twitter. Is there anyone on here from my Twitter? We've been talking a lot about this Trump thing. Let's see here, guys. I'm waiting for Sean in the chat to join. But let's see if CNN has any updated news articles we can decode on the fly. Nope, they still have the same headline. They still have same headline they had up 2 hours, 3 hours ago. But again, of course, Trump is the top headline today. I expected that. If he doesn't get taken down tonight in Montgomery, then, you know, at least the whole day seems to be about Trump on CNN. Which, you know, guys, there's a lot of dates in the future we could be watching for with Trump if there's going to be some sort of psyop with him being taken out. There was a lot of great connections with today. But maybe they have something planned for 8/28, or maybe they have something planned for the Great American Eclipse next year. Remember, guys, next year on 8/4, April 8th, we have the Great American Eclipse. And again, this is tied with this year's today, 8/4. Let me pull this up for you guys. So the Great American Eclipse next year is on April 8th, which is like 8/4 or 4/8. And today is 8/4, right? Which is the opposite day. It's the opposite 8/4 on the calendar. And if you go to next year's 4th, 4/8, you're going to see that it's separated by 8 months and 4 days. So if the ritual today does not go play out in Montgomery, we might want to be watching out for the Great American Eclipse time next year, because again, today 8/4 to 4/8 is separated by 8 months, 4 days. So let's see if Sean is joined. Sean is still not joined the chat. Let's see, guys. Rapture 111 says the coverage of the Montgomery thing is expected to start at 6:30 p.m. What time is it in Eastern time now, guys? Because I'm in Germany, so for me it's already past midnight. I'm assuming it's just after 6 p.m. Eastern time right now. Can someone confirm what time it is in the Eastern time zone? Yeah, it sucks being in Germany because, well, of course, guys, if you guys don't know, I'm in Germany visiting my girlfriend who's from here. She's also a decoder. I was very lucky to meet a girl who also decodes. And of course, I can't stay in Germany much longer. I only have like a week. And they're making me leave because Germany and the EU has very strong regulations. So again, that's why I'm in Germany. After that, I have to wait 3 months before I can see her again. So that's not going to be fun. Joyce says it's 5:05 in Alabama right now. Okay. So I guess Trump's going to be on in about an hour and a half, or coverage starts in about an hour and a half. So yeah, I'm just going to have to wait and see. Guys, also, if you guys see that I have this this link in the pin to the comments, if you guys would like to support the channel at all, there is a buy me a coffee link pinned to the top of this chat. It says buy me a coffee, and you guys can go and you guys can support the channel if you'd like to do that. I really appreciate that. It helps with my travels to get back to Ohio, where I'm from, or wherever I decide to go. I don't know what I'm going to do exactly yet after I leave Germany. So if no one else wants to jump on, okay, it seems like Sean is already in here. Hold on. Sorry, Sean. I hope you weren't waiting a long time. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Last time it was like really hard.
No, you're loud and clear, pretty loud and clear this time.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Yeah, I have to make it pretty fast because, as usual, I'm at work. But
okay, man.
So the fact that like Oppenheimer came out and like it all connects with like World War and all that, like the Trinity test, and so remember how I was telling you, I put in one of your comments how Revelation 13:3 is about like the deadly head wound.
Yeah.
So from the day that he was impeached, which was a week after January 6th. So from the first day of the impeachment to the day he was indicted was 133 weeks exactly. Like 133. So that was the first thing.
Which indictment? You're talking about the most recent indictment on 8/3 yesterday? Okay.
Oh, 8/1.
Oh, 8/1. Okay. Yeah, I see it. 133 weeks.
Yeah. So that's like for Revelation 13:3. So that was like one thing that was pretty interesting. And then, so now this like kind of connects everything to World War and stuff, because from his inauguration to Oppenheimer coming out, it's exactly 339 weeks. And the 339th verse of Revelation is Revelation 19:19 about the beast making war. it's exactly 339 weeks, and the 339th verse is Revelation 19:19 about the making war. And the prime factorization of 339 is 3 times 113, like 3113. So if you when you put 3113 together, you could also get 31 and 13, and the 31st prime is 127, and the 13th prime is 41, like 12741, and that's the date of Pearl Harbor. 127.
Yeah, you're right. Interesting. Yeah, I had been trying to make some connections between that. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, so when you make that into a date, 3113, like March 1st of 1913, from that day to today, that's exactly 40,333 days, like 4333. And that's the recorded date that Jesus died, 4333. So it's like 40,333 days.
Yeah, I see.
And that relates back to all the bombing, World War, Oppenheimer stuff, because the Trinity test. Remember the Trinity test?
Right. Yeah.
So Trump was born 333 days after the Trinity test, and that's like the Trinity of Trinities.
Oh wait, he was born 333 days after the Trinity test.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Wow.
And from the Trinity test.
Was that 7/16/1945?
Yeah.
And Trump was, you're right. Trump was born in 46. So I'm bringing this up for people to see so they can put so they can see it here. Hold on. Yeah, look at this, guys. I mean, this is a good share from Sean here. Trump born 333 days after the Trinity test, which is the 3, right? And that day, the Trinity test had 33 date numerology. Oh, and look at that. We were just talking about 474.
Yep. I was going to mention that, yeah.
474. I don't know if Joseph's still in the chat, but look at that. 474, 47 weeks and 4 days after the Trinity test, and 333 days. That's a good find.
Yeah, and so going further with the Trinity test, from the Trinity test to the indictment on 8/1, it was 78 years, 2 weeks, and 2 days, and that's the day that Shinzo Abe was assassinated. But in our time, because I think to them it was, in their time I think, but because how it was like either 7/7 or 7/8 when Shinzo Abe was assassinated.
Yeah, 7/8.
So yeah, so from the Trinity test to 8/1, the indictment was 78 years, 2 weeks, and 2 days. So that's the date, 7822.
Yeah, and I already connected that because Shinzo Abe was assassinated on 7/8. So I'm gonna pull that up real fast so people can see it. But yeah, that's interesting, man. You're making some good finds.
Yeah. And then
I was wondering why that lined up so perfectly. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I was just gonna say I just have like 2 more things just to wrap it up while you're typing that in, but I'll because I have to go real quick pretty soon. But
right.
Because I was also thinking like the Manhattan Project, and Trump's lived in Manhattan. The Manhattan Project was during World War II and had to do like Oppenheimer and all that.
Yeah.
So from the end of like when the Manhattan Project ended to the indictment, it's 911 months and 1 week, like 9/11/1, and it's like how you write. That's exactly the date of 9/11 because it's 01, so 9/11/01. So yeah, from the Manhattan Project to his indictment was 911 months and 1 week.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean that's a new thing. I'm gonna have to look into how Trump's connected to all this Trinity test thing, because I didn't even think about any of that. And like I said, this whole thing with Shinzo Abe, and obviously, guys, that the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki were in Japan, right? And that was what came from the Trinity test. And Shinzo Abe, who was a Japanese prime minister, was assassinated on July 8th, 2022. And from July 8th, 2022 to the 78th anniversary of the bombing of Nagasaki is the 78 prime days between 397 days between the 7-8 to the 8-9, which is the 78th year anniversary of the bombing. And it's the 78 prime days in between. So this 8-9 date was a date I was talking about before all the rest of the days. And I'm still watching this day. But yeah, this even makes it even bigger to me.
Yeah. And you remember how before we were talking about how nuclear equals 444?
Yeah.
So Trump, he was born 44 weeks and 4 days after Hiroshima.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. Well, this is, yeah. Wow. I mean, he's obviously very tied to this then.
Yeah. And then I guess like just to wrap it up just with a little light humor, because it kind of makes sense, but like Obama bomb, probably.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it probably has something to do with it.
That's what I was thinking. Bama, Bama, bam, bomb,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Joseph in the chat says Trump is facing 78 charges. That's, of course, he's facing 78 charges because it's all about this 78. This 78 was the day Shinzo Abe was assassinated, and this 78th anniversary of Nagasaki is coming up. Actually, the 78 year anniversary of Hiroshima will be on the 6th, which is the 6-8, which we've been seeing a lot of 6-8s. So if it doesn't go down today, my friends, with Trump, something might go down in the next 10 days at some point with Trump. There's so many days in August that connect to Trump.
Yeah, and then also remember how I mentioned that I think in a few other conversations we had that the study of earthquakes began in 585 BC.
Yeah.
So the 585th prime number is 4,261, and tomorrow is exactly 4,261 weeks after Pearl Harbor.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, and I think it's also
okay. Can you write me a comment with a lot of this stuff in there? Can you do that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And it's also 508 weeks and 5 days after the Reagan assassination attempt today.
Interesting. I found another 585 connected to Trump earlier today. I just can't remember it.
Oh, please do. I want to know all of them.
Yeah, but, I'll have to try to remember what it was.
Yeah, I'll write it all down. I'm probably have to get going, but you said Joseph is still in the chat?
Joseph is still in the chat, I believe. Yeah, he's talking about the 78. Alec Baldwin played Trump charges again. He dropped 78 weeks after Rush shooting. Yeah.
Yeah, because
interesting. It's tied to Alec Baldwin.
There's one thing I wanted to share, like, well, pretty much with everyone, but it really is dedicated to him because he is like the Obama guy, like the one who's like really on top of it. But so like the final verse of the Bible, it's Revelation 22:21, right? That's the final verse of the Bible. So from the founding of the United States to Obama's birth is exactly 2,221 months, like on the dot.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you hear that, Joseph? If you're still in the chat, maybe write that in the chat for Joseph to see too. I don't know if you can do that too, but
yeah. I'll write this all down because I have it on a piece of paper. So I got you.
Okay, good.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for letting me talk.
Yeah, no problem, man. That's all. You always have really interesting, good connections. So thanks for sharing.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And you too. Like everything that you're finding has been. I wouldn't have even been looking at the A4 stuff if it wasn't for you. So.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we're all just kind of figuring this out together. I think Joseph might have heard what you said. He said amazing. So, but maybe you could still write it in the chat so he can. If he'll probably love to use that on his channel.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's for everyone. Yeah, please do. Okay. I'll still be in the chat.
Man.
I'll write this all down. But thanks for the conversation.
Yeah. Take care, man.
You guys. You too.
Okay, so I'm trying to remember what he said. He'll write that in the chat for Joseph to see. somebody in the chat, Jacob asked where I'm at from in Ohio. I'm from north of Dayton, Ohio, and south of Lima. I'm in between Lima and Dayton, Ohio, off 75, Interstate 75. Casey Jones, how do we call in? I can leave you the link, Casey. Hold on. I know that Casey Jones has his own channel too. I don't remember what it's called, but he might come on here. I'll send him the link. Also, yeah, when Chris writes that in the chat, I'm gonna show that connection because that's really interesting about Obama being born perfectly with the syncing with the last chapter of the Bible. Okay, Jake. Yeah, that's cool. Of course, I'm not in Ohio right now, but yeah, Southwest. Okay, so yeah, I guess you must be. Are you in Indiana or in Ohio still? Okay, looks like we still got 72. 72 of you in the chat. Thanks everyone for sticking around and watching. Is there anyone else that wants to get on live with me and share their info? Because I know there's a lot of good decoders in the chat. Looks like Casey just joined. Hey, brother, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, cool. Nice to have you on, bro. Me and Casey just talked a few days ago over a phone call. Now he's coming on live. So
Yeah.
So how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm driving home with some tacos.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. I just want to talk about Pluto for a second.
Okay.
Pluto's 84 at Orville, like today's date.
Right.
And I found something interesting. I think I've mentioned this to you on Discord, but I found something interesting with looking at Pluto and lunar counts and Kobe Bryant and Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
So if you go from the Pluto's discovery date to the day that Whitney was born, it's 12,225 days.
12,225. Okay.
Yeah, which that converts to 414 lunar months. And then if you want to look at it, Pluto's discovery date's 2/18/1930.
Okay, I'm typing it in. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So Pluto discovered February 18th, 1930.
Yeah.
And what did you say again? Say that again.
You go from that day to Whitney Houston's birthday, which is August 9th, 1963.
Okay.
It should be 12,225.
What was her birthday again? Sorry.
August 9th. Yeah, August 9th, 1963.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. 12,225. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if you have the planetary calculator on there, but that's equivalent to 414 lunar months. And then, so if you go from Kobe Bryant's birthday to the day she died, it's the exact same date span. So, but it gets better. It actually gets better. There's even more.
Right.
So,
yeah.
From her birthday, from Kobe's birthday to the day she died, February 11th, 2012 is 12,225 days.
Okay.
His birthday. Okay.
His birthday was what, 8? What, from his actual birthday? 8/20?
Yeah, 8/23/78.
Okay. 1978 to what day again?
To day she died, It's February 11th, 2012.
Yep, that's crazy.
Yep, same day. Now, throw the 218 back in there, in that where that 211 is.
Okay.
Yeah.
218.
218, 1930.
1930.
Yep.
Okay.
Now look at that. 17,718. Now you'll get that same span if you go from the day that Whitney Houston was born to the day she died. It's 17,718.
Really?
Yeah.
That's also 48 years, kind of like backwards 84.
And that also converts to lunar months. It's 600 lunar months, which is equivalent to 50 lunar years.
Oh, well, interesting.
Yeah. So yeah. Then I recently found out that was it Dwayne Johnson's on the same count, but yeah.
So all these people.
Whitney Houston's interesting.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying, Whitney Houston's kind of interesting because the Super Bowl's on the anniversary of her death.
Right.
And Whitney Sons of 104. Supposedly she drowned in the bathtub. Drowning is 104.
Right. Yeah.
We're going into the 104th NFL season.
Okay. Yeah, that's
and then her next. Yeah, and her next lunar birthday is going to be on October 4th.
104. Yeah.
10/4. Yeah. So. Yeah. I just wanted to get that out there.
Yeah, that's
about that Pluto lunar count. Yeah.
What was that number again? What was the span? Because what was the span that number? I can't remember what that number was. It didn't have a bunch of 1s, 4s, and 7s in it, or 1s and 7s.
For Kobe.
Yeah, it was like that
Kobe's
last
death day.
Yeah, because I just decided to go ahead and measure from Kobe's death date to the Super Bowl this year. It's 1477 days, which is exact.
Yeah.
But that's exactly 211 weeks to the 211 Super Bowl.
Oh, okay, there you go. So that 10/4 date would be the 12th lunar anniversary of her death, and then the Super Bowl is going to be 12 solar years after her death. And since we're talking about Kobe and Pluto, Pluto's orbital period's 248 years, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And Kobe wore the numbers 24 and 8.
Yep.
And the year that he changed his jerseys from 8 to 24, Pluto was demoted as a planet, and that was on August 24th, or 24/8.
What a joke! Wow.
Yeah, that was like I said, that was in 2006. So there's definitely something going on with Kobe Bryant and Pluto. I can talk all day about Kobe, though. I mean,
yeah.
Like the 326s in his death. He died 326 days after Shaquille O'Neal's birthday, 47th birthday. He died 326 days before Pope's 84th birthday, I think. And,
yeah, I mean, Kobe Bryant is obviously a big piece of this puzzle. I don't look enough into him, to be honest. Right. But yeah, like the fact that he died 211 weeks exactly before 211 Super Bowl, that's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, that is crazy. Yeah, I mean that just kind of adds to what I was looking at with Kobe and Whitney. And another thing too that kind of drives it home is they came out with a series, I think in 2021, called Superstar.
Yeah.
And basically they're just it's about the lives of these major celebrities. And the first episode date was August 11th, and it featured Whitney Houston. And then the second episode was featured Kobe Bryant. So there you have them tied together right there.
Yeah. And
I know somebody mentioned. I wanted to add something. I know somebody mentioned that date span of. This is probably the last thing I can talk about because I'm about to pull in my driveway. But somebody mentioned Biden and Kamala. They're born 8,005 days apart, and 8/11's 8,005 days after 9/11. Well, if you convert that to Mercury years, it's 91 Mercury years exactly. And keep in mind that JFK died on his Mercury birthday at 193, 44th prime. And think about like the Route 91 Harvest Festival in the 91 Mercury years.
Oh yeah.
And
Interesting.
so like that actually falls on August 12th, but I think 8/11 is an interesting date as well. Like, I mean, 8/11, that's when Kamala was selected as vice
Right.
president.
Yeah.
So, but then also it's they actually share a Mercury birthday. So it's 91 Mercury years after 9/11. So Kamala and Biden are 91 Mercury years apart in age. And their next Mercury birthday is going to be on October 23rd.
Huh. Ignatius Lola's birthday.
Okay, I didn't know that. So he'll be like 245, and she'll be, I think, 140, 245. So she'll be I can't remember off the top of my head. But the interesting thing about that date is she's a Libra, which is by Venus, right?
Yeah.
As a morning star, and that's also where Venus was when she was selected as vice president. And there's a lot more to that. Like when you get the Oscars slapped and all the 2216s, like Revelation 2216, the Bright Morning Star. But yeah, man, I just want to get some of that stuff off my chest. I think about it every day. So
yeah, good
stuff. I got to hop off here. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, good stuff, man. Thanks for coming on. Come on anytime you want. So
yeah. Oh, awesome, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, enjoy your evening there.
All right, see you, Cody.
See ya. All right, well, thanks again for Casey coming on. And also, again, big thanks to Sean and to Joseph. So, last call. Yeah, I just really wanted to also hit home this last big thing about this bombings of Nagasaki. Again, Sean was sharing this amazing information about Trump and how he's tied to the Trinity test, and we just had the Robert J. Oppenheimer movie, who was obviously the father of the bomb and the part of the Trinity test. But if we go from the bombing of Nagasaki, let me just show you guys all this clearly so you guys can understand it. So if we go from the bombing of Nagasaki and Hiroshima, right, in 1945, which was on 8/9, it's exactly 78 years. So it's the 78th year anniversary of, on 8/9, it'll be the 78th year anniversary of the bombing, okay? And on 7/8, 2022, there was a Japanese Prime Minister, Shinzo Abe. He was assassinated on 7/8, kind of like 8/9 is the 78th anniversary of Hiroshima or Nagasaki, I believe. And if you go from the 7/8 date to the 78th anniversary of Hiroshima, you get 397, which is the 78th prime. Do you guys see how perfectly that is synced up with the number 78 and the 78th year anniversary? So with the Oppenheimer movie just coming out and all this bomb symbolism, it will be interesting to see how that plays out. But again, if you guys didn't catch Sean's amazing information, hopefully he can write a comment. Yeah, Sean is writing his information in the chat if you guys want to read it. But thanks again, Sean, for that. Also, thanks for Casey coming on here and sharing his knowledge of the astrology. He's great with the astrology. So yeah, guys, I'm watching Kamala Harris. I'm watching Donald Trump. Right now, Joe Biden is on vacation, so I don't know what's really, probably not going to be anything happening with Joe Biden, but also be watching Biden, right? We've had plenty of symbolism. Anyone else want to join the stream? Last call. I appreciate all of you guys staying in the chat for this long. This looks like we still have 66. Is there anyone else that would like to join the stream? I'm not on Rumble. Somebody in the chat asked if I'm on Rumble. Guys, I'm not on Rumble. I'm just on YouTube. But if this channel gets shut down, just look for me again. I'll make another channel. I mean, I'm not sure how to even do Rumble, but maybe I'll try looking into that. Because they're already demonetizing my videos, guys. So it wouldn't be surprising me if one day when I get enough subscribers that they do shut me down. Once again, guys, in the top of the chat, there is a link for buying me a coffee. If anyone would be willing to support the channel, you can donate whatever you like. But there is a link there if you guys want to do that. All right, doesn't look like anyone else wants to join the live stream. Thank you for the 3 people that did. And guys, what time does the Trump thing start? How many hours away are we from the Trump Montgomery? Because here in Germany, it's 12:33 a.m. Oh, it's live now. Okay. So I guess Trump is live now, guys. I don't know if is he. Did you leave a link in there? I wonder if I can stream it. I don't know. I don't think it'll work on my computer, guys. His plane hasn't landed yet. Okay, so we're still waiting for him. Interesting. I've always seen a lot of this plane crash symbolism, guys. I'm not saying it'll happen, but it could be interesting. There's been plenty of symbolism. John Mendoza, the buy me a coffee button, it should be pinned. If you look in the chat, it should be at the very top. Hold on a minute, guys. Let me post that in here. This is my buy me a coffee. Like I said, I got five supporters so far. And I appreciate every single one of you that helps out the channel. It's really appreciated. There's the link for you guys. Let's see. So yeah, the live stream, unfortunately, guys, I'm not going to be able to live stream it on my computer so you guys can see it because my computer volume doesn't work well when I'm using the live. So Trump will speak at 8:20 EST. Okay. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to mention a few last things about Trump before I get off. We know that the Jesuit order. Actually, let me just look this up here. We're going to talk all about that 201. That favorite number of Zach Hubbard over at Gematria Effect News. And also, I know Joseph brings this number up a lot. But don't forget, guys, that as you can see here on the screen, Trump is at the Renaissance Hotel. Okay. And the address to the hotel he's at tonight is 201 Tallapoosa. So what a joke this is. 201 Tallapoosa Street. And the Renaissance Hotel equals 201. So Not only is his address, the hotel he's at 201. If you type in the name of the hotel, the Renaissance Hotel equals 201. Kind of like the Jesuit order, kind of like the Jesuit Pope, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, and kind of like the founder of the Jesuits, Ignatius of Loyola. Don't forget that Jorge Mario Bergoglio lives in Suite 201 at the Vatican. And yeah, and a bunch of other 201s that I don't really feel like mentioning right now. But Gilgo Beach, yes, Joseph Aquaviva is still in the chat. You guys can probably see his comments. He's sharing the whole thing with the Jason Aldean, the Gilgo Beach, Carly Russell. I wasn't following that. I believe that Carly Russell was that girl that was saying that she was abducted or something, but she ended up saying that it wasn't true or something like that. But anyways, why is Trump at the 201 Tallapoosa Street, and why is he at the Renaissance Hotel, which equals 201? Absolute joke. And don't forget, if you type in 201 Tallapoosa, Tallapoosa Street, it equals 176. Like Donald. I just can't spell half the time, guys. Donald J. Trump. So yeah, like I said, he's at 201 Tallapoosa Street, which equals 176, kind of like Donald J. Trump also equals 176. And Montgomery, Alabama also equals, let me just type in 176 so you guys can see all the 176s. So Donald J. Trump, 76, 201 Tallapoosa Street, Montgomery, Alabama. Now, you guys don't know, Donald Trump's great-grandmother was named Elizabeth Christ Trump. But if you just type in her first and last name, Elizabeth Trump, it equals 176. And if you guys remember the other day, I was talking about the daredevil who fell off the 68th floor, just like Montgomery, Alabama equals 68. Anyway, his name, Remy Enigma, equals 176. Yes, as Joseph is saying in the chat, William Henry Gates, 201. Neil Alden Armstrong, the moon landing, 201, on the 201 day of the year. Yes, Elizabeth Christ Trump, his grandmother, Trump's grandmother, did die on 6/6/66. QAnon equals 201 in Jewish. Okay, let's bring up the Jewish cipher. So how is Trump also connected to the 201? It's because QAnon equals 201, just like he's at 201 Tallapoosa Street tonight. Jacob, yes, I have my own Discord, but I haven't used it in a while. I can send you the link. Message me in the description of the video, and I'll try to. I don't have the link with me right now, but I do have a Discord. But it's been a while since I used it. Yeah, I mean, Trump's grandmother, her name was Christ. Her middle name was Christ. Okay, and Trump is already kind of playing around with this Christ symbolism, right? Being persecuted, just like he said yesterday after his indictment that he's being persecuted. Jacob, yes, I am in Waters Above chat and Waters Above Crypto's Discord. That's a good question. Who would be John the Baptist then? That's a good question. If we're going off the symbolism, you know, that whole thing that Sean just shared about how Trump is connected to the Trinity test, that blew my mind. So Yeah, you got that whole thing going on right now with Jim Caviezel. Yeah. That Passion of the Christ. Does that new Passion of the Christ come out soon? What is that movie called? I can't remember what that new Passion of the Christ movie is called, guys. I need to look more into Jim Caviezel. I'm sure he has a lot of symbolism, and look and see how he's tied to Trump. How is Jim Caviezel, who plays Jesus, how is he tied to Trump? Okay, so the new movie is The Passion of the Christ Resurrection, and that comes out in February 2024. So just like the original movie came out in 2004, the next movie comes out in the second month in 2024. Do you guys see all the 42s and 24s? Kind of like the beast reigns for 42 months. But don't forget, guys, war, the word war is all connected to 42. 42 equals war. So it's obviously that they're using this number 24 and 42. Also, trying to think what else equals 42 and 24, but I know there's other things. Yeah, you're right. Trump is definitely playing the suffering card, the persecution card. Okay, Sean in the chat says, in a Fox interview, Jim Caviezel said, "We need Trump back to save the children. I was Jesus, but he's Moses." Huh. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, conspiracy. I don't know how to say your name very well, but yeah, Kamala Harris, camel's hair. John the Baptist and Elijah wore camel hair. Yeah, that's interesting. Kamala Harris is super tied to the feminine aspect of this. There's a lot I could say about that right now, but I'm getting a bit tired. So he did call Trump Moses. Okay. Moses, 71 and 17. Well, Catholic equals 71. So Moses and Catholic have the 71. What I can say here is that Zeus equals 71 and 17 like Moses. That's interesting, but I don't know what to say about that right now. I'll have to look more into it. Harris equals 44, yes. Harris also equals 89. Have I ever showed you guys the connection to the wrestler Kamala? Let me show you guys that, because this is absolute mockery. Absolute mockery. Let me just show you this Kamala Harris. So there was a wrestler that wrestled back in the 80s and 90s, so a long time ago. And his name, let me just bring him up so you guys can see. I mean, just think about this mockery, guys. This wrestler was named Kamala. That was his ring name. But his real name was James Arthur Harris. So you're telling me that this guy's name was Kamala and James Arthur Harris was his real name. So you have Kamala Harris in his ritual. I mean, what is the chances of that? And again, this guy, look at the picture on his chest, okay? he's got the 2 stars and the crescent moon. This is a symbol of, I can't remember which goddess, but this is a symbol of one of the goddesses. Let me look it up. Hold on. 2 stars and a crescent moon. So here you go, guys. 2 stars and a crescent moon is the symbol of the moon goddess Selene. Yeah, it looks like Conspirazin in the chat knows about this. Interesting. This is so much mockery, guys, that, I mean, how do you have the name James Harris and then you call yourself Kamala, and then there ends up coming along a presidential candidate named Kamala Harris, and this guy died on 8/9, okay? This guy died on August 9th. And in Gematria, Harris, his name was Harris, and he died on 8/9. Okay? This is why I'm looking at Kamala possibly becoming president on 8/9 this year. I'm not saying it's absolutely going to happen, but it could. Don't forget the queen she died on 8/9. And Harris, James Arthur Harris, died on 8/9. Apparently from COVID. So that means that this year on 8/9 will be his 3-year anniversary of his death. Okay. But how about if we go to, hold on a second, guys. If we go to his birthday, May 28, 1950, let's see how many days apart he was born from Kamala Harris. So he was born May 28th, 1950. Kamala Harris was born on 10/20, 1964. Yeah, I can't remember what connection I had found with that before, but I might do a video about that. Because if there was any predictive programming for Kamala Harris becoming president, it was definitely this wrestler. Yeah, so I just can't believe some of this stuff sometimes, guys. Sometimes I'm speechless. Right now I think I'm just tired, so that's probably why I'm blanking out in a lot of things here. But yeah, I just wanted to show that connection. What mockery. And this was many years before. I mean, Kamala debuted in, when did he debut? Oh, Kamala debuted in Dallas in 1983, well before Kamala Harris was ever even considered to be a presidential candidate. But again, guys, this whole Kamala Harris thing, I've talked plenty about this. You guys can go back and watch my videos. Her name means lotus, and of course we have the lotus in the iPad goat, right? And in 1989, you had Gerald Ford saying how we would get the first woman president. Okay, he said the way we would get the first woman president is that the male president would die and the female president that was the vice president would take over. And he said this 2 days before Kamala Harris's birthday. Gerald Ford gave this speech. Go back and watch my videos. He gave this speech 2 days before Kamala Harris's birthday. And he talked about the first woman president. And again, he did this in the Herbert Hoover Library. And Kamala Harris was born the exact same day that Herbert Hoover died. Exact same day. So yeah, just keep an eye out for a video in the future about this Kamala wrestler. I think I'm just going to make a short video about this and put it out there for you guys. Anyways, I think I'm going to call this stream. If anyone knows anything about the Trump thing, has Trump landed yet in Montgomery? I don't know if anything's going to happen tonight, guys, to Trump, but usually it's not so easy to predict these type of things. But again, we'll keep our eyes out. It's not always about getting things right. It's just about exposing how this matrix works and how we're really all stuck in it until we can. Yeah, his real name, Jessica Lynn, his real name was Leslie Lynch King Jr. And remember, tomorrow at Ford Field, WWE's having their event. And his name was obviously Gerald Ford, but his real name was Leslie Lynch King, like lynching a king, right? There's a lot of synchronicities between them, but I don't remember them all right now. My mind's going blank. All right, guys. Well, many blessings to you all. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching this whole thing. Thank you to Joseph Aquaviva for coming on and sharing his amazing work. Go subscribe to him. He's in the chat. Also, thank you to Sean for coming on. He's come on a few times. Also, thank you to Casey Jones, the great astrology guy that I enjoy. I think he has a channel too, but I don't remember the channel. If you're still in the chat, Casey, can you post your channel? I want to make sure I give a shout out to everyone. Don't forget about Jurassic Liars, who's always talking about this 8-4 date in Trump. Don't forget all the people on Twitter who've been talking about Trump the last few days. So many good decoders out there. I can't name all of you, but so many good. Thanks, Joseph. Thanks once again, brother. All right, guys. God bless you all. Thank you for coming by my live stream. Thanks for giving me your time. It's very much appreciated. Once again, there is a link, buy me a coffee link in the chat if you guys want to support. And I will be back probably with another video tomorrow. And probably another live stream in a few days. So we'll see what happens between now and then. Anyways, blessings to you all. God bless. Much love. And I'll see you guys in the next stream. Take care.